Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So in today's tutorial, we're going to be learning the sewing part of this beautiful dress. Okay, in my last tutorial, I already shared the pattern drafting. So if I had to see it, I'll leave a link in the description box. So you go ahead and watch the video on how to cut this dress. Okay, so go ahead and watch it. It's very important to watch. So after watching, you can come back here and join us in the sewing part. Okay, so guys, let's dive right into today's tutorial, and please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.
Two souls colliding. We shared the pieces of ourselves. It's perfect timing now. We fueled the
So this is
flames,
the
but we're
material I
still.
want to be using for this tutorial. Yeah, I have my thread and I have my zip. Also I have my brass of 1.5 yard. So right now this is all my piece. I already cut this out on our last tutorial. You just have to check the description box of this video for the links of the cutting and the drafting part of this dress. Okay, so right here, this is what I did. You can see I already cut out the lining. I cut this out of camera and I will explain later on how I did that. So this is my yoke. I cut this out on our last tutorial. Please check the video out so you understand what I'm doing here. So this is the sleeve. I did not cut the, it has two sleeves. I did not cut the other one, but I will do that in this video. So I also gonna head to iron my stay, also iron my warden, and also cut out the lining for the back and the front piece of the upper part. Okay, so for the down part, I'll just explain what I did here and how I cut the lining. Okay, so right now this is the front piece. I'll start from the front piece of the down part. Okay, so now I'll just turn it to the other side to understand what I'm saying and what I did here. Okay, you can see the lining and actual fabric is not of the same length. Okay, when I was cutting this out on last tutorial, I added 2 inches for the folding allowance and sewing allowance. So right here for the lining, I removed 1.5 inch on the lining only. I did the same thing for the back piece as well. So right now you open your piece like this, then you place your lining the right side facing each other. Okay, so once you place it, you notice the actual piece is longer than the lining. This is because I removed 1.5 inch, like I said earlier, just on the lining only. So what you will do is to drag the lining, make sure they are close to each other like this, like they are equal. Then go ahead and sew with 1/2 inch. After sewing, you drag it up on the other side. Then once you do that, you have this turn up effect. Okay, then you go ahead and stitch it with 1/2 inch. Also do the same thing on this other side. You drag it up like this, then go ahead and sew with 1/2 inch. After that, you make a top stitch on the upper side. So once I'm through with that, this is what I have here, and you can see the turn up effect I have at the back of this dress. Okay, so this is it guys, you can see how it's looking. And for the front piece, I also have the same thing. So what I want to do now is just to keep it aside and I work on the upper bodies. So this is the upper bodies. What I'm going to do now is to remove my pins and the paper. I'll just remove and keep everything aside. The lining, I'll keep it aside as well. Then I'll open this piece like this, then go ahead and join the piece. Okay, you join it like that with 1/2 inch. Do the same thing for the lining separately, then you also join this other one as well. So after joining guys, this is what I have here, and I also did the same thing on the lining. As you can see, this is it guys. So what I'm going to do next is to iron the seam opening. Okay, so if you have light, go ahead and iron your seam opening. If you don't have, you can leave it like that. But it's always good to iron your seam opening, like you press your seam opening like this. After doing this on the main fabric, I'll also repeat the same thing on the lining, as you can see. So once I'm through with that guys, this is what I have here. This is how yours should look like after ironing. Okay, I also did the same thing with lining like I showed you guys earlier. This is it. This is what I have here. So what I'm going to do next is to keep this aside and I'll bring the front yoke. Okay, so this is the front yoke. I'll just remove my paper like this. Okay, after removing and unpinning everything, I'll just open it the right side. this way. Then this is my bias. I'll just go ahead and pipe the open yoke like this. Okay, you go ahead and pipe with your bias. After piping all round like this, like after sewing, you also turn it to the other side and make a top stitch, then cut off the excess. Do the same thing for the other side and also pipe the neckline as well. So guys, after piping, this is what I have here. Can you see? So what I'm going to do now is just to match them together like this. I'll just bring it close like this. After bringing, I had excess, so I went ahead to trim it out. Okay, I also do the same thing on the other side. Go ahead and match them together like this. Okay, make sure they are very close to each other this way. Then once you do that, if there's any excess, you go ahead and trim it out. So what I'm going to do after trimming now is to bring my upper piece, that is the half length. I'll go ahead and, you know, notch the midpoint of my yoke. Okay, you notch the midpoint of your yoke, then you place it like this on your sweetheart neckline. Okay, you place it, then you go ahead and so just look at how I'm placing the yoke. Go ahead and bring the other open side. You just make them together like this. Do not place it on top of the other. You just make sure they are very close to each other this way. Then go ahead and sew. Okay, just make a small top stitch like that because you're still going to, sew your lining. So by the time you join or sew your lining, everything will align. Okay, do the same thing for the other side. So this is the lining. After placing, you go ahead and sew on the neckline and on the both side. So after sewing, guys, this is what I have here. So what I'm going to do next is to go ahead and make top stitch on the waistline and trim off the excess lining. So after trimming everything out, this is what I have here. So this is the down part of my gown. So what I want to do now is to first make my darts for the down part. Then after making my that on the both side, I'll go ahead and join the half length using half inch. So after joining my half length and making my darts, this is what I have here, and this is the back view. You can see how everything looks. So right now, just keep this aside and I'll work on the back piece. Okay, so for the back piece, I'll start from the yoke. Okay, so I'll just open it up like this. Open it up the right side, then go ahead and pipe the neckline. Also pipe this other side, then pipe this other end. Okay, so after piping, guys, this is what I have here. Can you see? So this is how yours should look like after piping. So what I'm going to do next is to bring the half length of my back piece, remove the lining and the paper, then unpin. So remember on our last tutorial, when cutting this, we removed 3.5 inches for the open yoke. Okay, so that's why it's important to watch our last video on the drafting and cutting of this dress so you understand what I'm saying here. Okay, so I removed 3.5 inch for the open yoke neckline plus 1 inch for the zip allowance. That will give me 4.5. Okay, so I placed my yoke exactly at 4.5 inches. Okay, so once I place it like this, I will bring my lining, then also place the lining again. Go ahead and sew with half an inch. Also do the same thing for the both side. Okay, then repeat the same thing on the other piece as well. So after joining and sewing and stitching everything together, this is what I have here. So yours should look exactly like this. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is to bring the down part, this down part of my dress for the back. I'll go ahead and make the darts, but first I will join them together like this. Use half inch to sew. Do the same thing for the other side. Then after sewing, I will also make my dart for the both piece. Okay, so once I'm through with that, this is what I have here. This is my dart, as you can see. So the next thing I did was to place the back piece together, right side facing each other. So after placing together on the waistline, I'll come down by 7.5 inches. You can come down by 8 inches if you are bigger. Okay, or if you are tall, you can make it 8.5 or 8 inches exactly. Okay, so after coming down by this 7.5, I went ahead to mark 1 inch. This for the zip allowance. So I'll just go ahead and sew from that side to this other end. So if you want to add opening at the back, you can go ahead and leave a space of 6 inches. But for me, I want to sew everything, then also fix my zip. So after fixing my zip, this is what I have here. You can see I did not have any opening at the back. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is to place the back and front piece right sides facing each other, then go ahead and join the shoulder. So after joining the shoulder, I also went ahead to pin everything together. So right now, the next thing I want to do now is to go ahead and take my body measurement. So I'm going to take my bust measurement divided by 2. Then you mark it, divide what you have left and mark. Also repeat the same thing on the waistline as well. On the waistline, you come down by 8 inches to mark it and divide your hip measurement by 2. Mark, divide what you have left, go ahead and mark. Repeat the same thing on this other side. So after doing everything, I'll go ahead and sew. Okay, so guys, after sewing, this is what I have here. Can you see? This is what I had after I was done sewing, and I already retook my measurement and I have my exact body measurement. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do now is to take my armhole depth. I'll just go ahead and measure. After taking, I have 8 inches here, but my normal armhole depth is 7.5, so I'm going to stitch it inside. Okay, I want to have exactly 7.5, so I'll just go ahead and stitch it inside. Okay, with quarter of an inch on both sides. So now this, what I have here for this piece is 18 inches, and for the length I have 9.5. Okay, you close it up like this, go ahead and sew with half an inch. Do the same thing for this other side. Okay, this is for the second sleeve. Okay, so after sewing, this is what I have here. So make sure your seam is facing the right, sorry, make sure your seam is facing on the center side. Okay, so after that, you go ahead and open your zip, then go ahead and place it. Okay, place your sleeve. This is the sleeve, you know, it's two sleeve, it has two sleeve. Okay, so for the Ankara one, you go ahead and place it like this. So when placing on that area where you joined, go ahead and give space of half an inch, because you're still going to fix your normal basic sleeve at that point. Okay, at that seam side. So after that, go ahead and make some pleats. Okay, if you don't understand what I'm saying, just look at what I'm doing here. You place it, give half inch space, then go ahead and make your pleat and stitch. So after stitching, guys, this is what I have here. You can see I have space on the armhole side. Okay, so now I'll bring my sleeve. I already gone ahead to sew this sleeve. Okay, like I already gone ahead to join my sleeve using half of my round sleeve measurement. So right now you just place your sleeve this way on the armhole side, place it this way, then go ahead and sew. Use half inch to stitch this. Okay, stitch it together like this with half inch. Okay, also I'll repeat the same thing on the other side as well. So guys, after stitching and after sewing everything, guys, this is what I have here. This is actually simple to make. This dress is looking so beautiful. It's very simple to make. You can try yours. Okay, so now I want to trim off this net I have at this damp part. I just want to have just the lace mouth, so I went ahead to trim this net off like this. I'll also repeat the same thing on the other side. So at this point, if you love what you're seeing and if you love this dress, if you love my tutorial, please subscribe, hit on subscribe button, comment down below, share and subscribe to this channel so you'll be notified anytime new video is dropped. Okay, so after trimming on the other hand like this is what I have. This is very beautiful. I just love it this way. So the next thing I want to do now is to make my button. Is it button loops or what? I don't know what to call it, but I just sewed this small little rope, then I cut out about, okay, 1.5 inches. Sorry, I cut out 1.5 inches for the length. Then you go ahead, fold it into two like this, like you are attaching a loops, like you sew it like this, then you place it this way. After placing, you go ahead and top stitch. Okay, just sew like that. All right, so after sewing, guys, this is what I have here. So this is the button. I have two buttons here, so I'll just go ahead, use my needle and thread. I already have my needle and thread ready, so right now I'll just go ahead and fix my button. Go ahead and attach your button like this.
Now you're the one I love is stronger. Baby, I know that it's stronger than yesterday.
So after attaching my button, I'll just go ahead and just pass it through the loops. Okay, just place it like this. So after doing that, this is what I have here for the back yoke. Okay, this is how yours should look like, and basically this is all for this dress. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is to iron it out. Okay, I'll just go ahead and iron it out very well, give it a very nice press. Then after that, I'll wear it so you guys see the final look of our beautiful dress. I already wear this at the beginning of the video, but I will try it again. Okay, this is very beautiful. I can't wait for you to try yours. And yeah, this is the final look of our beautiful dress. You can see how beautiful this looks. And for the zip pouch, we already removed it while cutting this on the last tutorial. So you can see on the waistline, just look at the waistline. That is the back of my dress. You can see there is no zip pouch at the back of my dress. Okay. So guys, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, don't forget to subscribe, share, and let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much, and bye.